what made it in the book is I don't know, maybe 20% of
not even.
maybe not even, yeah, that's not even counting all the animation art,
Yeah.
you know, the actual animation drawings that get done. So it's
We had a database that we had to hire a friend of ours to help go through because we were so busy on the show. And I believe when you open up this database, there's 37,000 items in it, which is, you know, why we had to hire her. It was like, man, I don't have time at the end of the day to go through this. Now, a lot, to be clear, a lot of those files are hello, duplicates, but you have to go through all the duplicates and all the iterations. Wait, is this the right file? Is this the full resolution file? Is this the
yeah, we also ran into the problem where we were making so many variations on characters, and they were so minute at times that as you were like flipping through, it looked like a weird animation of somebody's like face shifting, or like an eyeball would move, and then you know, something would appear on their clothing, they would disappear, and then it was crazy. It was just so much.
So should we open it up to some? So yeah, we hope, you know, if you are able to pick up the book. We heard they sold out here today, which thank you.
Thank you guys.
If you're able to pick it up or you get a chance to read it at some point, you know, we hope you enjoy it, and hope that gives you a little insight into it and the ones to come. So we'll pass one of these sometimes working microphones out into the audience.
Yeah,
and, I don't know. We don't have a system, so just
I guess raise your hand and we'll try to.
yeah, weird, yeah. And
Should we just walk it over?
yeah, and just be everybody honor system with. Yeah, we can hear you. We'll hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about the pro bending.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say there's one person in each zone,
Yeah.
and one of the characters knocks one of the first players off, like into a different zone. How does the advancement work in that? Like, how does the other team that just scored a new zone advance?
They don't get to advance until they've cleared a zone in between them.
All three have to go.
Yeah.
If they cleared one zone and they're all each in one separate zone, then how do they advance?
Oh, if they're all in one separate, I think they all
get to advance like one zone.
They all get to advance one zone, but they wouldn't get to advance. Like, say Mako is in the first zone, and Bolin's in the second, and Korra's in the third. If the other team takes out Bolin and takes out Korra, they don't get to advance until they get Mako back. You know. So, but if they did, yeah, I think they all move just one.
But if they were to just knock back Mako, would they all be able to move to that one zone?
Yes, I think so, right?
Who
We need to chart this out. I don't know.
I have to ask myself from 2010. I can't remember. I did a whole video of all the rules. Yeah, I guess that got posted. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, in the press kit is really good. It has
It's in the press kit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, well, you made up all those rules.
I made up the rules. They're in here somewhere. If I ever see
It does
you,
work. It does
If
work.
I ever see you again, I'll let you know. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back that way. Flash.
What gave you the idea to put the setting of the story in a 1920 style early industrial city?
I mean, that kind of came out of, you know, we always thought the original series was like, you know, mid 1800s kind of time period. So, you know, when we knew like, okay, we want to do Korra, we want to do the next Avatar, kind of worked out like the time, you know, how much time we wanted to pass so that like Aang's children can still be around and Toph's daughter can still be around. You know, and so we hit upon the 70-year mark. Sort
Age theory.
Yeah, and also we're, you know, especially Brian, but we love that time period too, and it's just like a cool, that Prohibition time period and stuff is like just a cool vibe, and we thought it'd be a great mix to do like what would Shanghai and New York look like, you know, if that kind of city existed, hybrid city existed.
Yeah. Which striped shirt?
Okay, I have two questions. First, are we going to see any of Mako's history with the gangs, with the triads? And second, is the Equalist subplot coming back?
I mean, we just premiered these little kind of filler shorts that
Yeah, we did these
backstories.
three, they're like 3-minute shorts or something, and it's about Mako and Bolin when they were on the streets, when they were like, I think they're like 12 and 14 or something like that.
little scamps.
Yeah, and so it kind of touches on that. You know, it's a little lighter in tone, and it's not like super heavy and dark.
Not the
with
gritty gang
Yeah.
drama you're looking for.
But it's
no
fun
bank jobs.
and
Gangland.
And to the second question, no, book 2 is all about more spiritual spirit stuff. So not a lot of equalists floating around.
Water tribe
At that point.
stuff. Yeah. I'm sure there's an underground bookstore where they're still holding meetings, you know, but it doesn't make it into the show. Right there. Yeah, I'm looking at you. No. Back. Yep. No, I'm looking at no behind you, behind the guy pointing at himself in the hat. You've got that. No, you're turning around. Now look at me. Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
I want to know if we're ever going to see more of older Toph and whoever Lynn's dad was.
Lynn's dad is just a mystery to me. I don't know.
It might be
Yeah,
a
we
mystery to
definitely-
top too, actually.
Yeah, it's we definitely do more stuff with Lynn down the road. So it's not right away. So don't be mad if it doesn't happen right away. But we got great stuff planned for Lynn and her family. So
Yeah, it is worth pointing out. I think we talked about this in some interviews. Book 2 for the Lynn fans, and I'm a Lynn fan. She's not very heavily featured in Book 2, but very heavily featured in Book 3, which we're making. And yeah, like Mike said, you're going to learn much more about her family. And then, because if you guys don't know, we're actually already like very, very far into Book 3. It's all written, recorded, it's all being animated. We're designing it right now, and we're even working on Book 4. Storyboarding. Mike and the guys are writing all that stuff. I'm supposed to be designing that stuff. I'm so behind. So.
Brian just came to my office and gave this like heartfelt apology right before we came here and said, "I'm sorry you don't have any designs, man." Hey, bro, it's okay.
I was just like poking this like tarantula toy that he has, just sadly. He's like, "Does that signify your shame of not having any design?"
so pop in the front here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Hi, I was wondering, how was the production design in Spirits different than the original Spirit World and the original series?
That's a good question. Her question was, how does the production design of the Spirit World differ than how it was shown in Avatar? And we see a lot more of it this time around. So there are definitely some nods to the original Spirit World stuff, but yeah, this time around we just had to figure out what else could it look like. You know, I always made it kind of a swampy, sort of foggy thing. There's still some of that. I would say there's a lot more color this time around. Book 2, I didn't realize till we cut the Comic-Con trailer how colorful Book 2 was. And I think because Book 1, we really wanted it to feel like the 20s, so it had a kind of sepia tone to it and more of a noir feeling. But Book 2 is really quite colorful. So.
How about the girl on her father's shoulder? The tallest one, I think. We have some good stuff in store for Bolin and his love interests.
Bolin is, you know, he's sort of the Sokka of The Legend of Korra. And Sokka, for some reason, always had ladies around.
Yeah.
You know? No shortage of ladies
Yeah.
for Sokka.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff coming.
Yeah. In the hat, right there.
How long does it take to make a season?
A season? Man, when we finish one, I'll tell you. It's kind of embarrassing how long it takes to make The Legend of Korra.
Well, I think particularly like the situations we find ourselves in where we just kind of push things sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, on average, you know, a show, ideally it takes about 10 months, but really we do like, our episodes take like a year or more in the case of Book 2, as you may know.
Each episode, over a year.
But we're, you know, so we're working on like 10 to 20 episodes at one time at various stages in the production, so everything's overlapping.
I honestly, when they say episode 30 whatever, or episode, I don't remember
Yeah.
I have to be like, is that the one with the thing and the thing? So it's, I've already forgotten book 2. It's out. It's going.
Yeah, there's so much overlap, like I just described. I mean, we're still doing post-production on book 2. We're in the thick of production on book 3, and then on pre-production on book 4. It's just this blur of work. You just get punched in the face all day long. And I mean, basically at the end of the day, this whole series is going to take us 5 years, I think. So I think we have time for 2 more questions.
The girl in the yellow on the side has been waving frantically over there.
And filming us.
My question is that why is the benders and the non-benders against each other in Korra when they were getting along fine? What was the turning point of that war, I guess?
Did you guys hear that? It's why, if the benders and non-benders were getting along before that, what made them not get along? I would say, how do you know they were getting along? Because it's a big world, and our stories didn't really focus on that. But I would say the turning point is Republic City and the kind of progress, and it was this melting pot where all of these different benders from all over the world who used to be pitted against each other were now kind of, in a way, the ruling class. They sort of had the power, and but they're the minority, and so you sort of have this ruling class, like in ancient China or something. They're the minority, but they hold the power over everybody. So all these non-benders are like, hey, we used to think it was like water versus fire or earth versus fire. But really, it's just the benders versus us. Like, we're doing all the dirty work. They threaten us. They hold power over us. So I think it was the sort of the melting pot situation, right? Does that sound?
Excellent answer.
All right.
I would have totally been an equalist.
Approved by Mike. In the Korra Naga shirt.
Hi. My question is about some commentary on the DVDs where you had some problems with the sexism department with Legend of Korra making, there is some trouble getting Korra to be a girl.
Ah, yes.
So I'm wondering if you're still having trouble with that, because it seems like there's a lot more male characters in season 2 than female characters.
Ah, okay, so in the commentary on the DVD, we did talk about, we talked about this nice, sunny, happy period. Hey, Kurt. Hey, Becky. Where we were just working on whatever idea we wanted to, and it was really fun. And but then, there was a period where the network was like, "Oh, it's a girl."
Yeah, there was a few weeks there where there was some trepidation, but then they were like, "Okay, you guys are cool to go," and then honestly, it hasn't been an issue since. Any of the, I always think we have plenty of girl characters, but and certainly, and maybe book 2 does seem a little more male centric, but certainly book 3 and 4, I don't think you'll be disappointed in this.
Absolutely. Because we love making strong, having strong female characters and having them be front and center. We like male characters too,